Hello, we are here to present Cities for People. I'm Isabel Frois, and I'm a postdoc researcher at Copenhagen Business School, and I'm also a service designer.
Hi, you guys. I'm Jojo Newgard. I'm the project manager of Cities for People, and I'm also working at Copenhagen Business School. The Cities for People project takes place in 5 different European cities with different size and demographic, creating different needs and wishes for the population in these cities. The consortium consists of 13 partners, a combination of cities, SMEs, and research institutions.
The project took a stand from the people-oriented transport and mobility. The idea of that is a project that was community-driven, that it was from the community and towards the community. And by community, I mean all the stakeholders that are involved in transportation and mobility in a city, and about learning, deploying, and sharing all the challenges and solutions that were developed throughout the project together. The city, in terms of the City for People objectives, the core objectives was integrating technology innovation, social innovation, and people in one project, in one goal, and assessing, scaling up, and standardizing the people-oriented transport, mobility, and innovation. On top of that, we use co-creation as this catalyst for changing the way decisions were made and how solutions were implemented. So this was the glue that brought everything together. So it was about towards the community, was creating events and workshops and before Corona, that people could really come together and work together in creating solutions for and understanding the problems as well that are related to transport in their cities.
Each city also created their own local mobility labs where these challenges were looked at and the mobility solutions were developed, and concept prototypes and so on were also developed in these mobility labs.
And by this, as made some of the workshops were Hackdays, where exactly these ideas were brought together and discussed, and also the solutions were created in this.
Each citizen mobility lab also had a Cities for People info point where people that were interested in the project come and hear more about it, and also get news about it, upcoming events and so
on. Exactly, and based on that, we had like some very interesting results.
We have 5 local mobility kits. We have in total 15 interventions and 15 prototypes developed. 5 of these interventions were scaled up. And we also developed a novel impact and assessment evaluation methodology, the core outcome set. We have had 6 papers published, whereas 5 of them are open access.
In terms of the results, so in Oxfordshire, we had the app training program, looking at with the perspective of inclusion, so bringing like elderlies or other groups that felt like left out, and how they could make sure that they also use the service and were like an active group.
We had the mobility point in Budapest that sort of combined micro mobility solutions.
We had electric scooters and smart lockers in Trikala to help the people with disability, some kind of disability, to help them go around, and the lockers looking at storage space so people wouldn't go by car, but they would have a place to leave their belongings during the day.
In Hamburg, they developed bicycle racks, and not only that, they also focused on cargo bike racks, and they made extra space for these as well.
In Üsküdar, they looked at like again through the perspective of a group, both people with disability and elderly, They develop the solutions that address them. So as you could see in the pictures, like benches to support them while they are going in specific areas. Also created like different pavements, you know, and support and a railing system for people out there walking. You can see the before and after. And also electric carts in these more steep areas, which is like in passage, which is a very important passage linking different like bus stops and different transportations.
So before the overall results, that was sort of the hard measures. So if we look at some of the soft measures developed throughout the project, we have developed a user-driven product innovations. We made sure that all voices were present. We have created awareness of the positive impact that co-creation has on all governance levels. We have implemented a decentralized process within the mobility planning sector.
And on top of that, so many of these pilots and these prototypes and these scale-ups became permanent. So in Hamburg, we have the cargo bike parking, which is now there. In Budapest, the mobility point network has also been definite, and it's also installed, and it's also growing to other areas of the city. In Trikala, both the lockers and the wheelchair scooter also are now available for all citizens. And in Oxfordshire, both transporter supermarkets and a face-to-face app training has been picked up. Both of them have been picked up by the local population as in the local community, where they are pushing this forward actually as a community project. In terms of the solutions replicated in other neighborhoods, in Üsküdar, the 2 open electric cars in the park, you know, are being are staying there, and they are looking at this to other parks as well to make available in other parks. In Budapest, the micromobility point network is also expanding to other districts in Budapest. They look at it 86 stations, so like, you know, offering 86 bikes or other types of services to help the local population avoid using cars, use the other types of transportation instead. In Oxfordshire, they are based on the experience with Cities for People. They are looking into running a DRT service, and they're currently looking for funding. And besides this, both municipality and universities are looking into future projects where they can work together. And this is across the pilots, right? Yeah, across all the pilots. So
other outcomes linked to the next steps. So we have the Cities for People toolkit and core outcome set methodology, and matrices for people-oriented transport and mobility. We have the citizen mobility kit in each local city. We have the deployment toolkit and replication guide also for each city, and one that sort of shows the whole project. And then together with the other neighborhood projects, as well as Looper, who is funded by JPI Europe, we have developed a document or report illustrating 10 big messages about urban mobility.
And this is our citizen mobility kit, which is online and available. And people, besides having this general one, with the stories of each of the cities on the side, they are also available in the local municipalities. On top of this, we have, as part of the tools for applications, we have developed a blueprint. This is like the last part of the blueprint regarding the scale up. And this is like kind of a hands-on kind of manual on how you can do this project. So you can see, you can follow the steps and see what is needed in order to run a project, such a project in other places. In terms of our recommendations, we see the support for projects focusing on cross-disciplinary co-creation of urban solutions and other stakeholders can contribute to really a large awareness of bringing together urban development in the city. We see the need to educate authorities about the value of including urban prototyping in developing ideas for the city instead of just going for straight-on implementation. And also we feel the need to have further research on how to best communicate and disseminate about economical, social, and environmental value of citizens' participation in any urban planning process. Last but not least, this project has been picked up by Brazil. So in Rio de Janeiro, the university has invited us, the coordinators from Cities for People, as part of their Smart Cities research program. We're also contributing to an article for a national publication on urban prototyping regarding Cities for People. And they are also looking into funding to replicate the project locally. So that's what they are doing now. On top of this, we also have the Cities for People tools being used in other EU projects such as iProduce and BCoop. And with this, we say thank you.